Stoicism and travel, the philosophy of adventure and exploration. When I first embarked on my journey into Stoicism, I never imagined how profoundly it would reshape not only my inner world but also the way I navigated the outer one. Travel, once an occasional escape, transformed into a purposeful quest for growth, understanding, and connection. In this text, I'll share how Stoic philosophy has enhanced my travel experiences and how it can do the same for you, turning every adventure into a meaningful chapter of your life. Embracing the present moment. As a Stoic traveler, I've learned to embrace the present moment with every step. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength," he wasn't just speaking of daily struggles but also the unpredictable nature of travel. Delayed flights, unexpected weather, or lost luggage, these are all opportunities to practice acceptance and mindfulness. I vividly recall a trip to a remote island where my plans unraveled due to a sudden storm. Initially, frustration threatened to ruin the day, but Stoic reasoning reminded me that while I couldn't control the storm, I could control my attitude. Instead of sulking, I explored a hidden beach, basking in the rain-soaked beauty of nature, and it became one of the most memorable days of my journey. The art of minimalism. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what is necessary and what is superfluous. This principle has made me a more mindful packer and traveler. Seneca's words echo in my mind every time I prepare for a trip. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Carrying only what I truly need has been liberating. A lightweight bag symbolizes a mind unburdened by excess. Traveling light allows me to focus on the richness of experiences rather than the weight of possessions. Cultivating resilience on the road. Travel often tests our patience and adaptability. Long layovers, cultural misunderstandings, or even health issues abroad can challenge the most enthusiastic adventurer. It's during these moments that I find solace in the Stoic principle of resilience. I once found myself stranded in an unfamiliar city without access to my phone or wallet. Initially, fear gripped me, but I leaned on Epictetus' advice: we suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. With a calm mind, I sought help, navigated the local transport system, and ended up discovering a vibrant market I'd have otherwise missed. Finding meaning in every encounter. One of the most beautiful aspects of travel is the people we meet. Stoicism reminds us that every individual we encounter has something to teach us. Marcus Aurelius advised, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This perspective has helped me approach strangers with empathy and curiosity. On a trek through the Himalayas, I met a guide who shared stories of resilience and simplicity, embodying Stoic virtues without ever having read a single Stoic text. It was a humbling reminder that wisdom is universal, not confined to philosophical treatises. Navigating the unexpected with gratitude. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoicism and an essential mindset for travelers. Every sunset, every shared meal, every unforeseen detour becomes a gift when seen through the lens of gratitude. During a solo trip to South America, I was taken aback by the kindness of strangers who welcomed me into their homes. This hospitality deepened my appreciation for human connection, a reminder that the world is full of good-hearted people. He who is grateful does not begrudge, as Seneca said. The journey within. Stoic travel isn't just about exploring new places, it's about exploring oneself. Every journey becomes an opportunity for introspection. Time spent in solitude on long train rides or quiet hikes provides space to reflect on my values and goals. In the stillness of a desert sunset or the hum of a bustling market, I ask myself, am I living in alignment with my principles? Am I treating others with kindness and respect? These moments of self-inquiry often lead to profound realizations, leaving a positive footprint. A Stoic traveler is mindful of their impact on the world. Epictetus taught that we are part of a larger whole, and it's our duty to contribute positively. Whether it's minimizing waste, supporting local economies, or respecting cultural traditions, Stoic principles guide me in being a responsible traveler. On one occasion, volunteering at a conservation project in Southeast Asia not only deepened my connection to the local community but also reinforced my commitment to living harmoniously with nature. Turning obstacles into opportunities, the Stoic mantra, amor fati, love of fate, has been a guiding star in my travels. When the path ahead seems blocked, I remind myself that obstacles are not barriers, they are stepping stones to growth. Travel is full of surprises, and not all of them are pleasant. However, as Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. I'll never forget the time I planned an elaborate itinerary through a mountain range, only to face road closures due to landslides. Frustration loomed, but embracing amor fati led me to explore a lesser-known valley nearby. The detour introduced me to secluded villages, authentic cuisine, and breathtaking landscapes I wouldn't have otherwise seen. What initially felt like a setback became the highlight of my trip, seeking simplicity amidst complexity. In a world of flashy travel experiences and curated Instagram posts, Stoicism encourages us to find joy in simplicity. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, wrote Seneca. This principle has reshaped the way I approach travel. Instead of chasing luxurious accommodations or the must-see tourist attractions, I now prioritize authentic, unfiltered experiences. A quiet morning sipping tea with locals or watching children play in a village square often carries more meaning than the grandest monuments. These moments remind me that beauty often lies in the ordinary. Facing the unknown with courage, stepping into unfamiliar territory requires courage, a virtue highly esteemed in Stoic philosophy. Epictetus said, "It is not death or pain that is to be feared, but the fear of pain or death." Similarly, the unknown aspects of travel, navigating a foreign language, trying new food, or venturing into a remote area, are opportunities to conquer fear. On a solo trip through Morocco, I hesitated to explore the bustling souks of Marrakesh. The unfamiliar sights, sounds, and smells felt overwhelming. But by focusing on what I could control, my attitude and curiosity, I immersed myself in the experience. By the end of the day, I was bargaining with vendors, sampling exotic spices, and marveling at the vibrant culture, practicing detachment from outcomes. One of the most liberating Stoic principles I've applied to travel is detachment from outcomes. While it's natural to have expectations for a trip, clinging too tightly to them often leads to disappointment. Stoicism teaches us to invest in effort, not results. During a backpacking trip in Patagonia, my goal was to reach the summit of a challenging peak. Unfortunately, unforeseen weather conditions forced me to turn back. Initially, I felt defeated, but reflecting on the experience, I realized the journey itself, the camaraderie with fellow hikers, the stunning vistas along the trail, held immense value. By releasing my attachment to the summit, I found joy in the process. The joy of solitude. Travel often involves moments of solitude, and for many, this can be intimidating. However, Stoicism reframes solitude as an opportunity for self-discovery. Marcus Aurelius frequently wrote about finding peace within oneself. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. I've had some of my most profound realizations while sitting alone on a mountaintop or watching the waves crash against a deserted shoreline. In these moments, I've learned to silence the noise of the world and listen to the whispers of my own soul, strengthening gratitude through contrast. Travel exposes us to a vast range of living conditions, from the opulence of modern cities to the humbleness of rural villages. Experiencing this contrast has deepened my sense of gratitude, a cornerstone of Stoic practice. After spending time in a small community in India where clean water was a luxury, I returned home with a newfound appreciation for things I once took for granted. Seneca's reminder, "He is most powerful who has power over himself," resonates deeply in these reflections. Gratitude, I've realized, is a powerful tool for inner contentment, building connections beyond borders. One of the most enriching aspects of travel is the bonds we form with people from different cultures. Stoicism teaches us to see all humans as part of a shared brotherhood, a single community of rational beings. On a trip to Italy, I shared a meal with a family who welcomed me with open arms despite the language barrier. As we communicated through gestures and laughter, I felt the truth of Marcus Aurelius's words: "We are all made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth." These moments remind me that kindness and connection transcend borders. Reflecting on the journey, a journey doesn't end when you return home. In many ways, it's just beginning. Reflection, a practice deeply valued by Stoic philosophers, allows us to process our experiences and integrate the lessons learned into our daily lives. After every trip, I set aside time to journal my thoughts, the highs, the lows, the surprises, and the moments of stillness. I often ask myself questions inspired by Seneca: what did I learn about myself? How did I face adversity? What virtues did I practice? These reflections transform fleeting travel moments into enduring wisdom. Embracing minimalism in travel, one of the greatest gifts Stoicism has given me is the ability to travel light, both physically and mentally. The Stoics remind us to focus on what is essential and let go of excess. Packing for a trip becomes a metaphor for life, carrying only what serves us. During my travels, I've pared down my possessions to the bare essentials. Surprisingly, this simplicity brings immense freedom. Without the burden of excess luggage or unnecessary distractions, I can fully immerse myself in the present moment. As Epictetus wisely noted, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Facing unpredictability with grace, travel is unpredictable by nature, and no amount of planning can account for every twist and turn. Stoicism equips us with the mental tools to face uncertainty with composure. I recall an unexpected delay at a remote airport in Southeast Asia. Hours turned into a day, and the initial frustration was palpable among the passengers. Drawing on the Stoic principle of accepting what lies beyond my control, I used the time to read, reflect, and connect with fellow travelers. By shifting my perspective, I turned a stressful situation into an opportunity for growth. The healing power of nature, Many of my most transformative travel experiences have taken place in nature, where the Stoic ideal of aligning with the natural world comes alive. Marcus Aurelius often found solace in observing the harmony of nature, reminding us that we are part of something greater. Standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon or walking through a serene forest, I feel a profound sense of interconnectedness. Nature, in its raw beauty, teaches us resilience, patience, and humility, lessons that align perfectly with Stoic teachings. In these moments, I'm reminded of Marcus's words, "Look at the stars, and let your mind run on the unnumbered changes of things. Travel as a path to virtue." Every journey, no matter how short, is an opportunity to practice the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues guide my actions and decisions while traveling. Wisdom helps me navigate unfamiliar cultures with an open mind. Courage pushes me to step out of my comfort zone and embrace the unknown. Justice reminds me to treat everyone I meet with fairness and kindness, regardless of their background. And temperance keeps me grounded, preventing overindulgence in the excesses often associated with travel. Sharing the gift of travel, when approached through a Stoic lens, is a deeply personal experience, yet its lessons are universal. Sharing my stories and insights with others has become an essential part of my journey. By writing about my travels, I hope to inspire others to see the world not just as a destination, but as a teacher. In this spirit, I've started encouraging friends and family to approach travel with a Stoic mindset. Watching their perspective shift, from frustration to acceptance, from distraction to presence, has been one of the most rewarding aspects of my journey. Turning every setback into a step forward, one of my favorite Stoic practices is to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Travel often places us in situations where this mindset becomes crucial. From cancelled plans to language barriers, every setback can be an invitation to strengthen our resilience. I recall a trip to South America where a missed train to Machu Picchu forced me to spend an extra day in a small mountain town. Initially disappointed, I chose to explore the area instead. That day turned out to be one of the most memorable of my journey, as I discovered hidden trails, bonded with local residents, and gained insights I never expected. Marcus Aurelius reminds us. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. These words echo in my mind whenever I face an obstacle, reminding me to embrace the unexpected. Practicing mindfulness in motion, for the Stoics, presence is power. While modern travel can often feel rushed and chaotic, the philosophy of mindfulness transforms every step into a meditation. Whether it's the simple act of walking through a bustling market or sitting quietly on a beach, being present in the moment allows us to truly absorb our surroundings. I often practice a simple Stoic exercise when traveling. I pause to take a deep breath and observe the world around me. What sounds do I hear? What scents fill the air? What textures and colors catch my eye? This practice not only grounds me but also heightens my appreciation for the beauty of each place. Building connections with compassion, the Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of all humanity, and travel is a powerful way to experience this firsthand. By approaching others with empathy and kindness, we create connections that transcend cultural and linguistic differences. During a trip to Japan, I stayed with a host family who welcomed me as one of their own. Though we spoke different languages, our shared smiles, gestures, and moments of laughter built a bridge between us. Epictetus's wisdom guided me. We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth. These connections remind me that, no matter where we are in the world, we share a common humanity. The importance of gratitude in travel. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic practice and an essential companion for any traveler. As Seneca wrote, nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate a deep sense of contentment. I carry a small notebook during my travels where I jot down moments of gratitude each day. Whether it's the kindness of a stranger, a breathtaking sunset, or a delicious meal, these reflections remind me of the abundance in my life. This practice not only enriches my travel experiences but also deepens my appreciation for life's simple pleasures. Preparing for future adventures, the Stoic mindset encourages us to approach the future with both preparation and acceptance. As I plan my next journey, I embrace the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Packing my bag. I include not just the essentials but also a renewed sense of purpose. Travel, for me, is no longer just about exploring new places, it's about practicing the principles of Stoicism in real-world scenarios. Every trip becomes an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to live more intentionally. Overcoming the fear of the unknown, travel, by its very nature, plunges us into the unknown. The unpredictability of new environments, foreign languages, and unfamiliar customs can spark fear or anxiety. However, Stoic philosophy equips us with a powerful tool, the understanding that the unknown is not to be feared but embraced as an opportunity for growth. Epictetus taught, "Don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Say to it, hold on a moment, let me see who you are and what you represent. Let me put you to the test." I remember a solo trip to Morocco where, upon arrival in Marrakesh, the chaos of the vibrant souks overwhelmed me. My initial reaction was to retreat to the safety of my hotel. But instead, I paused, practiced a deep breath, and reminded myself that every fear was merely an impression to examine. With this mindset, I ventured out again, experiencing not just the noise and bustle but the beauty and energy of the city's pulse, finding strength in simplicity. One of the great lessons Stoicism teaches us is the value of simplicity. Travel often reinforces this, as we learn to live with less while gaining so much more. The contents of a small backpack, the roof of a humble guesthouse, or the flavor of a simple local dish, these become treasures that surpass material extravagance. Seneca's words echo in my mind, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." In Patagonia, I spent a week trekking through rugged landscapes with only the bare essentials in my pack. Each step reminded me of how little we truly need to be content. My focus shifted from possessions to the awe-inspiring beauty of nature and the sheer joy of moving through it with purpose. Cultivating detachment amid beauty, the Stoics teach us to appreciate beauty without becoming attached to it. This principle resonates deeply during travel, where stunning vistas and cultural marvels leave us awestruck. Yet, no view or experience can be held forever. We must let them pass with grace. Marcus Aurelius's reminder, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change," serves as my mantra in moments of goodbye, whether leaving behind a picturesque village, a fleeting sunset, or newfound friends. On a recent trip to Italy, I watched the sun set over the Tuscan hills, bathed in golden light. I felt a pang of sadness, knowing I would soon leave. But I turned my thoughts to gratitude for the privilege of witnessing such a moment. Resolving to carry its memory with me rather than clinging to its fleeting nature, turning travel into a virtue, for the Stoics, every action in life is an opportunity to cultivate virtue. Travel, then, becomes not just an adventure but a practice in courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. When faced with adversity abroad, such as a missed flight, an unexpected illness, or a challenging trek, I remind myself that every moment is a chance to practice patience and perseverance. Similarly, when engaging with locals or fellow travelers, I strive to embody justice and kindness, fostering goodwill wherever I go. In this way, travel becomes a training ground for the virtues that define a flourishing life. Returning home with a Stoic heart, the Stoics encourage us to reflect deeply on our experiences, learning from them and using those lessons to grow. When I return home from a journey, I spend time journaling about the insights gained and the virtues practiced. As Marcus Aurelius advises, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Travel enhances this gratitude, reminding me to carry the lessons of resilience, mindfulness, and simplicity into my daily life. Each trip leaves me not only with memories but with a renewed commitment to live as a citizen of the world, aware of our shared humanity, connected to the rhythms of nature, and guided by the wisdom of the Stoics. Embracing discomfort as a path to growth, travel inherently pushes us out of our comfort zones. The unfamiliarity of language, culture, climate, or even food can feel daunting. But Stoicism encourages us to seek discomfort, not as a burden, but as a pathway to growth. Epictetus often said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." I've found this to be true time and time again. One of the most profound moments of discomfort I experienced was during a journey through Southeast Asia. On a remote island, I faced days of torrential rain that turned trekking trails into muddy obstacles. Struggling through the elements, I reminded myself that adversity is a chance to test my resolve. Each step, though grueling, became a reminder of my inner strength. Travel mirrors life in its unpredictability, and discomfort becomes an opportunity to refine our character, teaching us resilience and patience in equal measure. Connecting with humanity through empathy, the Stoics emphasize the concept of cosmopolitanism, being a citizen of the world. For Marcus Aurelius, this idea meant recognizing that we are all part of a greater whole, interconnected by our shared humanity. When traveling, I carry this principle close to my heart. Whether breaking bread with a family in Turkey or exchanging smiles with a street vendor in Peru, I'm reminded of the invisible threads that bind us together. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "What injures the hive injures the bee." Travel amplifies this interconnectedness. Listening to the stories of locals, witnessing their struggles and triumphs, I learned to see the world not as divided by borders, but as united by our shared human experience. Journaling as a Stoic travel practice, journaling has long been a cornerstone of Stoic practice. For travelers, it becomes both a tool for reflection and a treasure trove of memories. Each evening, after a day of exploration, I take a moment to capture my thoughts, insights, and experiences. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius's meditations, my travel journal serves as a canvas for gratitude, self-assessment, and philosophical musings. I document not just the places I visit, but the virtues I practice and the lessons I learn. Did I show courage today? Did I remain patient in the face of a delayed train or a cultural misunderstanding? These reflections help me internalize the journey, turning fleeting moments into lasting wisdom. Stoic mindfulness on the road. Mindfulness is deeply rooted in Stoic thought. The Stoics taught us to live fully in the present moment, appreciating what is before us without being consumed by longing for what has passed or what lies ahead. Travel heightens this awareness. Standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon, I let go of distractions and immerse myself in the grandeur of nature. Strolling through Kyoto's tranquil bamboo forests, I remind myself that this moment, with its unique sounds, scents, and sights, will never come again. Seneca advises, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Through mindfulness, I savor each experience as it unfolds, knowing it is a gift that will soon transform into a cherished memory. Gratitude as the traveler's compass. Gratitude is a central tenet of Stoicism, and travel offers countless opportunities to practice it. From the kindness of strangers to the beauty of nature, the world constantly reminds me of its abundance. Even in moments of challenge, I find gratitude. A missed connection might lead to an unexpected detour. A stormy afternoon might reveal the kindness of locals offering shelter. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Travel has taught me to approach each day with a grateful heart, appreciating the journey in all its forms. Preparing for the returning home after a journey is a bittersweet experience. But the Stoics remind us that every ending is a beginning in disguise. The key is to integrate the lessons learned on the road into daily life. Before each return, I reflect on the ways travel has transformed me. Have I become more patient? More open-minded? More aware of the world's beauty and complexity? These insights fuel my resolve to approach life at home with the same sense of wonder and mindfulness that travel inspires, embracing detours with Stoic flexibility. One of the most unexpected joys of travel is the detours, the unplanned moments that, at first glance, seem like setbacks. Flights get delayed. Weather disrupts plans, and roads become impassable. These disruptions can either frustrate us or, as Stoicism teaches, become opportunities to practice flexibility and see the hidden gifts in life's uncertainties. I recall a time when a cancelled ferry left me stranded on a small Greek island. Initially annoyed, I soon realized this was an invitation to slow down and explore more intimately. I found a secluded beach, watched the sun melt into the horizon, and had a heartfelt conversation with a local fisherman about life on the island. What I thought was a disruption became one of the most cherished moments of my journey. The Stoics remind us to ask, how can I use this? Instead of lamenting disruptions, we can reframe them as detours guiding us toward unanticipated growth and joy. Courage in the face of the unknown. Travel often demands courage. Whether it's stepping into a bustling market in Marrakesh, navigating a chaotic train station in India, or hiking solo through the Andes, there are moments that test our bravery. Stoicism teaches that courage isn't the absence of fear but the willingness to act despite it. I've learned that the anxiety I feel in new environments is a natural reaction to the unfamiliar, but it's also a signal that I'm growing. Every time I pushed through that fear, whether trying a new language, making friends with strangers, or confronting physical challenges, I became stronger. Seneca's words echo in my mind, "He who is brave is free." Travel liberates us from the confines of our comfort zones, offering a canvas on which to paint acts of courage. the virtue of moderation in travel, one of the four cardinal Stoic virtues, temperance, has profound applications for travel. When exploring the world, it's tempting to indulge, lavish meals, luxurious stays, and endless shopping sprees. But true contentment comes not from excess but from moderation. On a recent trip to Japan, I practiced temperance by choosing a minimalist travel style. I stayed in modest ryokans, ate simple yet exquisite meals, and focused on the essence of the culture rather than material souvenirs. This approach not only deepened my appreciation for the experience but also aligned with the Stoic belief that simplicity amplifies joy. Moderation allows us to travel lightly, not just in terms of baggage but also in spirit, freeing us to focus on the richness of the journey itself. Finding harmony in nature's grandeur, nature has always been a teacher to the Stoics, offering lessons in impermanence, resilience, and interconnectedness. While traveling, I often find myself drawn to nature's wonders, where I can reflect deeply on life, standing before Iceland's towering waterfalls, trekking through Patagonia's glaciers, or stargazing in the Sahara Desert. I feel a profound sense of humility. These moments remind me of Marcus Aurelius's reflection, "Observe how all things are born from change." In nature's vastness, I see both my insignificance and my connection to something greater. It's a humbling yet empowering realization that fuels my Stoic practice, sharing wisdom through travel stories. Travel, much like Stoicism, is not just a personal journey but a shared experience. The lessons we learn on the road become more meaningful when we pass them on. I find immense joy in recounting my adventures to others, weaving Stoic insights into the fabric of my narratives, whether it's sharing a story of overcoming fear on a mountaintop or the kindness of a stranger in a bustling city. These tales inspire and educate. They remind others, and myself, that life is a series of journeys, each filled with opportunities to grow, connect, and thrive. Epictetus encourages us to use our experiences to benefit others. Travel stories become not just memories but legacies, echoing the wisdom of Stoicism across time and space. Reflecting on the journey, as my travels unfold, I dedicate time to reflection. Sitting quietly at the end of a trip, I revisit the moments that tested me, inspired me, and transformed me. I ask myself, how did I embody the Stoic virtues of courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance? Where can I improve? What have I learned about myself and the world? This practice of reflection doesn't just close the chapter on a journey, it also prepares me for the next. Each reflection sharpens my perspective, deepens my gratitude, and strengthens my commitment to live in alignment with Stoic principles. Final words: travel as a Stoic odyssey. Traveling with a Stoic mindset has reshaped how I see the world and my place within it. Every trip becomes an odyssey of self-discovery, guided by ancient wisdom that feels as relevant today as it did centuries ago. Stoicism transforms travel from mere sightseeing into soul-searching, teaching us to embrace challenges, savor beauty, and connect with the world in meaningful ways. To you, fellow traveler, I say this: the world awaits. Step into it with the heart of a Stoic, curious, resilient, and open to its lessons. Whether you journey near or far, know that each step has the potential to deepen your understanding of yourself and the universe. Let the adventure begin. Where will you go next, and how will Stoicism shape your path? The answers are waiting, just beyond the horizon.